Exploring the fascinating world of DNA. Moiré Superlattices. Imagine a world where DNA isn't just the blueprint of life but a building block for revolutionary nanoscale structures. This is the reality scientists are now crafting with DNA. Moiré Superlattices, engineered systems that bridge the gap between atomic scale and micrometer scale materials. But here's where it gets controversial. Traditional methods for creating such structures demand painstaking precision, often requiring complex stacking and alignment processes. What if there's a way to bypass these hurdles using DNA's inherent programmability? Let's explore how researchers are rewriting the rules of nanotechnology. Moiré patterns, those mesmerizing interference effects we see in overlapping grids, aren't just optical curiosities. In the realm of nanotechnology, they form the basis for superlattices with unique electronic and photonic properties. Take graphene, for example. When two layers are twisted at a magic angle of 1.1 degrees, the resulting Moiré superlattice exhibits extraordinary quantum behaviors. This discovery sparked the field of twistronics, revolutionizing our understanding of 2D materials. But what about the nanoscale sweet spot between atomic lattices and photonic systems? Until now, creating Moiré superlattices at this scale has been a formidable challenge, until DNA nanotechnology stepped in. The breakthrough lies in DNA's ability to self-assemble with atomic precision. By engineering DNA origami seeds and single-stranded tile, SST, sublattices, researchers have constructed DNA Moiré superlattices with nanoscale periodicity. These structures aren't just smaller versions of their graphene counterparts, they are programmable, customizable, and free from the material constraints that plague traditional methods. The key innovation? A dual-layered approach where DNA origami seeds with intrinsic twists guide the growth of SST sublattices, ensuring precise alignment and stacking. This method eliminates the need for manual layer-by-layer assembly, a process that's both time-consuming and error-prone. But let's break it down. The DNA origami seeds act as architectural blueprints, featuring specific capture regions that dictate where SST sublattices will form. These sublattices can be designed with different symmetries, square, kagome, or honeycomb, each contributing to the Moiré pattern's complexity. By adjusting the twist angle between layers, scientists can fine-tune the superlattice periodicity, much like adjusting the angle of two overlapping transparencies. The result? Structures with periodicities of 10 to 100 nanometers, a scale previously inaccessible to synthetic systems. What makes this approach truly groundbreaking is its adaptability. Unlike graphene-based systems, which require exfoliation and precise angle control, DNA Moiré superlattices self-assemble in solution. This not only simplifies fabrication but also opens the door to hybrid structures. For instance, researchers have already demonstrated tri-layer systems with varying symmetries, creating gradient Moiré patterns where the periodicity changes across the structure. This spatial modulation could enable applications in optical devices, where controlled light interaction is crucial. However, challenges remain. While DNA's programmability is a strength, it's also a limitation. DNA isn't inherently rigid, which could affect the stability of large-scale structures. But here's where the controversy lies. Some argue that DNA's flexibility is an asset, allowing for dynamic, responsive materials. Others counter that true nanoscale control requires stiffer frameworks. What's your take? Could DNA-based systems outperform traditional photonic or electronic materials in certain applications? Looking ahead, the implications are vast. These superlattices could serve as templates for inorganic nanomaterials, enabling the precise placement of quantum dots or metallic nanoparticles. Imagine photonic circuits with nanoscale precision or phononic crystals with tailored wave properties. The potential for addressable nanoscale engineering is immense, and this work represents a critical step toward that future. As the field evolves, one question looms: how far can we push DNA's capabilities? With advances in material conversion techniques, like turning DNA into silica or metal hybrids, the line between biological and synthetic nanotechnology may blur. Will DNA-based systems become the gold standard for nanoscale engineering, or will they remain a niche tool? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. After all, science thrives on debate, and this is just the beginning. Unlocking the power of DNA, revolutionizing light, sound, and matter. Imagine a world where the very fabric of light, sound, and matter is not only understood but also redefined. This isn't a scene from a sci-fi movie, it's the reality scientists are creating using DNA as a molecular architect to construct Moiré superlattices with a level of precision never seen before. By embedding specific geometric and rotational instructions into DNA strands, researchers have pioneered a method for these structures to self-assemble, potentially transforming fields from optics to quantum materials. But here's where it gets controversial. Could this mark the beginning of a new era in material science? Traditionally, creating Moiré superlattices has been a labor-intensive process requiring precise alignment of layers under strict lab conditions. However, Professor Laura Nau and her team at the University of Stuttgart have developed a groundbreaking approach that sidesteps these conventional methods. Their technique uses a bottom-up assembly process, where DNA strands naturally connect to form larger, ordered structures without manual intervention. This process starts with a nucleation seed, a sort of molecular blueprint which dictates the final structure's geometric parameters like rotation angle and lattice symmetry. This seed guides the formation of two-dimensional DNA lattices into complex layers, all within a fluid solution in a single, seamless step. This innovation not only simplifies the construction of Moiré superlattices but also unlocks the nanometer scale, a realm that has been challenging to access. The Stuttgart team combines DNA origami with single-stranded tile assembly to create micrometer-scale superlattices with features as small as 2.2 nanometers. These structures display varying Moiré patterns and twist angles, observable under transmission electron microscopy, which closely match the designs programmed into the DNA origami seeds. The implications of this technology are vast and varied. For instance, when these lattices are chemically solidified, they could become phononic crystals or mechanical metamaterials, capable of controlling vibrations in highly specific ways. Their precise construction also makes them ideal for developing advanced optical and photonic devices, where they could manipulate light or sound paths through gradient index techniques. And this is the part most people miss, the potential for these superlattices in spintronics, where they could facilitate spin-selective electron transport, exploring new frontiers in topological spin transport phenomena. Professor Liu emphasizes that their work is not about replicating existing quantum materials but rather expanding the possibilities for creating entirely new structured materials from the ground up. This approach embeds geometric control directly into the molecules, opening a new dimension of material design. What do you think? Are we on the brink of a materials revolution, or are there unforeseen challenges that might temper these advancements? Share your thoughts and join the conversation below. Programmable DNA Moiré superlattices, revolutionizing nanoscale material design. Imagine designing materials at the nanoscale with the precision of a Swiss watchmaker, but instead of gears, you're working with DNA. Researchers at the University of Stuttgart and the Max Planck Institute have just cracked the code for creating programmable DNA Moiré superlattices, a breakthrough that could revolutionize how we engineer everything from quantum materials to optical devices. But here's where it gets really interesting. They are doing it without the painstaking, error-prone steps that have held back the field for decades. Moiré patterns, the interference effects you see when two grids overlap slightly, are not new. However, crafting them at the nanoscale to unlock unique physical properties has been a holy grail. Traditional methods rely on mechanically stacking and twisting 2D materials like graphene, a process as delicate as assembling a microscopic Lego tower while blindfolded. Our approach throws out the old playbook, explains Professor Laura Nau, whose team pioneered a bottom-up strategy using DNA's self-organizing magic. Here's how it works. DNA strands are programmed to link into precise lattices, guided by a nucleation seed that acts as a blueprint. By encoding parameters like rotation angles and symmetry directly into the DNA's molecular design, the team lets the structure self-assemble in a single step, no tweezers or ultra-clean labs required. The result? Micrometer-scale superlattices with unit cells as small as 2.2 nanometers, featuring tunable twist angles and exotic symmetries like kagome or honeycomb patterns. But why does this matter? Moiré superlattices have been explored at atomic and photonic scales, but the intermediate nanometer range, where molecular control meets material functionality, was a blind spot. The Stuttgart team filled this gap by merging DNA origami, think, folding DNA into shapes, with single-stranded tile assembly. The payoff? Structures like gradient Moiré superlattices, where twist angles shift smoothly across the material, behaving like a nanoscale prism. The implications are vast. These lattices could scaffold custom nanodevices, from fluorescent sensors to spintronic circuits. Turn them into rigid frameworks, and you get phononic crystals that manipulate sound waves or metamaterials with tailored vibrations. They might even steer light in, transformation optics, or enable topological spin transport, a quantum phenomenon where electrons move in predictable, spin-dependent paths. As Liu notes, this isn't about copying nature, it's about inventing matter with built-in geometric intelligence. But not everyone will agree on the priorities. Should we focus on overcoming fabrication challenges or push into untested applications first? And what if programmable Moiré materials outperform traditional quantum candidates? The debate is just beginning. As Van Aken's team proved with electron microscopy, the precision is real, but turning it into usable tech will require leaps of imagination. So, here's the question: are we on the cusp of a nanoscale revolution, or are these superlattices a promising dead end? The answer lies in the DNA, and the daring of the scientists wielding it.